What's going on, Jay Kinder?
What's up?
Kevin Hildebrand. What's going on, you guys?
Good morning, guys.
We're here with the legend himself.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
So we are here with Kevin Hildebrand. Jay and I are pumped up. Like we say, the legend himself. He's the man. You guys don't know him. He's been around for a while, but he's been crushing it for many years. And I think he got into the business when he was like 16 because he's still young.
Yeah.
So what's up, Kev?
Not much. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Couldn't be better.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I think, hey, Kevin, I think you and I are doing all right. We got our jackets on. It's cold up here in Ohio, and I'm looking at Kender, and he's got the lush background of Puerto Rico in the background. I'm hearing like helicopters flying around and stuff. So what's going on down there, Joe?
There's always a blower going or somebody chopping down trees and palm trees or something all day, every day here. So it's just there's always noise in the background. But my kids are inside doing first day of school in Puerto Rico. So I came out here to not bad weather though. It's nice today. It's like I think the thermostat's stuck on like 72 all the time here, I guess.
That's
blah,
perfect.
blah, blah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, well,
Cold and gloomy here. 25, I think.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking some time, Jay. I know you're busy, crazy busy.
I'm excited.
Everything's blowing up, but we wanted to kind of bend your ear. It's been 12 days. So, Kevin, 12 days with EXP. We wanted to kind of jump on here and see what your experiences were or have been, and where you think this is going, and kind of give a little bit of a background. I know there's a lot of my realtor friends and a lot of my friends that have kind of reached out like, hey, I've met Kev before. It sounds like he's doing good, but give us a quick little history, Kevin, on real quick on where you're at, what your team looks like, and what you've been doing the last 20 years.
I was licensed in '94 just as a part-time agent at a Century 21 office, and within a few months moved to Remax when I realized I could get 100% commission, and I was selling 2 or 3 a month, still working my full-time job. So it was scary transition to quit a full-time paying job and go into real estate full-time. Now I've been 100% commission since I was 18 years old. So I've always, chased, so to speak, and that related to real estate pretty easily. But got lucky early on with Remax and had some good influences, mentor type people. With Remax was kind of had a lot of training material for the time in the mid 90s, and then the Howard Brinton Star Power, I was lucky enough to get involved with that, and learned a ton from a lot of different people all over the country. Sam Miller, Ryan Searle, names you guys have probably heard, Mark McKee, and just seeing what they were doing in their daily business. You're sitting at a lunch at Howard Brinton with somebody that's 26 years old and they're selling 400 houses a year, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought you had to be 50 years old to do that. So kind of fast tracked, and for a long time I was kind of the young gun guy, and then around 2006 was our biggest team. I think we had 12 people, and we closed somewhere I think we were 428 transactions in 06, and that was through a lot of direct mail and magnets and all that. And then since 2006, we downsized during the recession. It got really tough there. Every lead was like gold, and we had buyer agents that knew how to answer the phone but not dial a phone, and that became a challenge. So we went to basically 4 or 5 person team, and have consistently been in that 2 to 250 transaction a year since 06, and through the recession, and doing some short sales and just trying to find leads anywhere we could. And during that time, my 3 kids, who are all actively in sports and things, kind of consumed my one side of my brain. My one side of my brain was sell. But then when I wasn't with a client, I was at a gymnasium, basketball game, football field, horse event. So about a year ago, with 2 of my boys in college playing football, I kind of realized that I was kind of a little bit bored a little bit, and maybe our business had gotten a little stagnant. You know, our success is based on relationships and past clients, and we haven't been near as proactive like we used to be. And so in the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know, this is time we need to sort of reinvent ourselves, so to speak. And just a chance meeting with Andrew, you know, for 20 years, it's a daily call to get from a broker, an agent, or a owner of a company. Hey, we want you to come. We want you to come. But I've been 100% since 95. I mean, what's higher than 100% commission? So I met with Andrew. I took maybe a third of a page of notes. I was more interested in just having a beer with Andrew, who I considered a friend, even though we, because of our kids and business, probably haven't spent near as much time together as we should have. But didn't really get it. I didn't really listen to him, and maybe I should have. But I kept telling him, Al, let me come see your operation. And so my brother's been with me. Mike's been with me since 95 and is basically like a partner. He came one summer to wire our computers up because I'm not very good at that stuff. And convinced him to get his license. First 2 buyers he took out bought. So he thought, wow, this is pretty simple. And asked Mike on like a Friday, I said, hey, I'm going up to see Andrew Gaydosh on Tuesday. Why don't you ride along? And finally on the way there, it's about a 40-minute ride. I listened to some of the EXP videos on YouTube, or maybe you had sent them to me, and something clicked. I mean, I know you guys I've heard this said a lot, but once you see it, you can't really unsee it. It's there. And met with Andrew. I don't know, got Jay on the line, maybe spent 2 hours with you, and Mike and I drove back, and pretty sure we didn't even turn on the radio in the car. I don't think we even talked. Both of our minds were just like, wow, this company is just different. I mean, real estate, you know, you hear the analogies, the traditional brokerage right now is like owning a Blockbuster or Hollywood video store, and this is like working for Netflix or Uber or Airbnb, and this is the wave. I mean, I think in the 90s, maybe Remax was the wave with the 100%. And that played itself out. And I think the EXP business model, and EXP in particular, it's the next wave. It's going to be the future. And this is the way we're going to do business in the future. And the intriguing things to me were everything in the EXP world, everything under one cloud, all the training, all the database, all the contact manager, websites. I felt like our current business was a conjunction of a lot of different pieces to try to make our business function. We had a Chevrolet car part, a Ford car part, a Dodge car part, a Mercedes-Benz car part, a Lexus car part, and we were trying to make all these things fit together and make the car run. And with the EXP, it's all the same model, and we can add and tinker to it. But I think to go back into growth mode, which is where we're wanting to go with our real estate business, this is by far the best vehicle. And I figured out, I think there's been 10 or 11 people in the last 6 or 7 months that have reached out to me that are either A, unhappy at their current brokerage, or B, want to get in the business. And I just always refer them to my past broker. And I mean, sometimes I get a thank you, and I wasn't expecting anything. I had a fantastic broker. He was a great influence, mentor, etc. But the future's changing, and the real estate industry changing, and this is the vehicle. And I feel like we're getting in on the ground floor of a big tech company, and I think and hope, just like everybody else, I've seen what the stock's done the last 12 months, and you got to remember, I've been with the same broker for 25 years. I'm not the guy that jumps at every, latest widget, so to speak. So the revenue sharing and the stock options and the ability to buy stock and the quality people that are getting attracted to the company. The old iron sharpens iron analogy. I think you keep bringing in the best people, and it's going to be a fantastic company with a lot of top quality agents.
Yeah, one of those things that I had mentioned when you were talking earlier about the Star Power Network, the Star Power Network was basically Howard Breton would go out and collect, or just befriend, all the top, bad to the bone agents across the country and interview them for collaboration. And this is almost like a 4.0, I mean, it's amazing when you start spending time with other agents and you have, you're in different markets, but yet you have common problems, similar things that are out there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That was one of the greatest things when I ended up joining Jay's mastermind after we met. I think it was 30 under 30. He had just recently after that started a mastermind. And I walked into a room with 30 of the top agents in the country, that many of whom had already made the mistakes that I was getting ready to make, or, kind of gone through those systems. And it was like, hey, how do we collapse time here, get you to where we know you should be, and don't make these mistakes. And that's pretty cool with the collaboration part of EXP. I think that's what my thing, that it's hard to articulate that in a video, but beyond all the other awesome things, I mean, that's a huge, huge thing. I don't know, Jay, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I light up every time I hear it. The theme is, what you did to become successful in real estate was you got yourself around people that were doing more than you. And I had the same exact scenario happen to me at an event, and the guy was like sitting 3 people down from me and stands up and asks a question, and then they ends up talking about his production. He did 400 something deals. I'm like, what? This guy 2 seats down and selling 4. How in the world do you sell 400 homes here? Like, I'd never seen it. Didn't even know it was possible. But it's that ability to mastermind and get around those types of people that really allows you to, again, collapse time, like Andrew said, and find that success. And what EXP is just it's a platform where we're all now financially in alignment to share with everyone in the company. And so who does it attract? It attracts people who want opportunity. It attracts people who want to grow. And like, that's the perfect recipe for, something really powerful. And like, being able to build something is, anything it can be accomplished. And we're all working on it together instead of individual silos and, thinking about ourselves. We're doing it together, and it's a lot more fun when you get to work with that caliber of person all the time. And the masterminds now just happen, they happen now, all obviously in person. We're doing events again. That's coming, and all of that side of it, but we're doing it in real time, through this platform all day, every day now.
Yeah. And in the old days, we would look forward to the Remax had an awesome convention back in the day. Yep. The Star Power events, and you'd get there, but you had to fly there. You had to spend all that time and energy. You had to wait for the classes you wanted to see. Then you had to come back and implement everything. Where now all that is at your fingertips on your desktop, laptop, iPad, and I feel like EXP is a collaboration of like Star Power and the way Remax was 25 years ago, and a lot of forward thinkers, a lot of positive energy, and all those tools are now available right at our fingertips, and I don't have to go to 20 different places. There's a little bit of a transition anytime you switch with changing your systems, and we updated all our computers, and but it's really been fun to get on like the workplace and just see all the different groups. I mean, there's a group for referrals. There's a group for listing presentations. There's a group for almost everything. So if you have a need, a question, an interest, it's been fantastic. And Louise and Sarah, who are the 2 brokers for Ohio, when we have questions about things, they answer us back in like seconds, minutes. And in the old days, you'd go to your broker's office, you'd hope they were there, you would hope nobody was in their office, and then it was very an outdated way of a lot of things we were doing were just outdated and time consuming and non-productive, and this just frees up the whole culture and tools available at EXP is just, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface. I mean, we're still going through, I think we just got our my wife went and picked up all our signs this morning. Luckily, D-Sign is like 15 minutes from our office, which is which is cool. But just all them little things, we're haven't even scratched the surface of what we can do. And in the meantime, people are calling us, asking us why we're here and why we switched. And we've had some people come aboard already, and we've got a list of others that we're crossing our fingers. But if I had the 30 to 50 people that are actively selling houses right now because of either working A, with me, or B, influenced by me, I would be living next door to Jay probably.
That's what's coming. That's exactly what happened.
Well, you're going to. So that kind of takes us to a great segue. Like, so it's been 12 days. I know you've gone through the system implementation, which, it's great. You had Louise and in our state of Ohio. I got my Ohio State shirt on today. The Buckeyes are playing tonight. Hopefully that doesn't backfire on us. I know our Browns won yesterday, but it's been 12 days. You kind of gone through. We use all the same systems in the MLS that you were using before in terms of the nuts and bolts and fundamentals. But all the add-ons with the technology, the training in the world. For those of you that don't know what Workplace is, it's like a intra office Facebook. It's owned by Facebook. EXP is one of the few companies that they've allowed to have adopt to that. So it's pretty cool. And you can access people. It works very similar. So there's all these different systems out there. And I know they haven't been too different from what you're used to, but new and exciting. But tell us it's been 12 days. How's your experience been? And are you excited? We want to hear the open and the real view. And those of you know Kevin, he doesn't bullshit anybody. He's on point all the time. So what's your thoughts?
I would tell you 100%. It's the most excited I've been in 15 years. We all work really hard, and you grind and you grind, and you enjoy your relationships with clients, and we've all met some extraordinary people by doing this business. But it's the most excited I've been in 15 years as far as looking for our future and the growth of our team. And this enables me to build, 3 exit plans. One exit plan being if I want to step away from day-to-day selling in the next 5 to 10 years, I'll have the infrastructure in place to be able to do that more so than I do now. I'll have, stock, I'll have revenue sharing. But it's been fun. And you've got to remember, I met you on a Tuesday, and I think I texted you, I'm in on Wednesday, and you didn't even respond because I think you thought, a lot of the videos I watch, people are like, yeah, I've been looking at this for 18 months. And that's just not how it just made sense. Once we saw it, you just couldn't unsee it once you, and so we didn't get as much time to plan because I basically, told our staff, I've got 3, my brother Mike's been with me 25 years, and then Allison's, I think, at 20, Robin at 16 years, only because she's 32 and she started when she was 16, answering the phones on the weekends. And then Amy's been here for 10. So it was a lot for me just to walk in and say, guess what? We just switched companies. And we had Christmas in there. We had New Year's in there. So the good news was business was a little slower. So we were able to, put 20 gallons of water in a 5-gallon bucket in about a 10-day period. And today it really feels like the first real day, if that makes sense, where, hey, we don't have any distractions now. We can just put our head down and learn and grow and take advantage. When I'm talking to agents, I'm not like, hey, you want more commission? You want revenue sharing? It's like, you want an opportunity. That's really what I felt like EXP was. It was an opportunity to grow something bigger, better, and fun. And it wasn't really, money's always a factor, but I can't honestly say I woke up and said, oh, I can make a lot more money if I switch to EXP, because I was at 100% commission, right? With a small, I own the building I'm in, I'm off site. had a small desk fee. So it was as much the challenge and the opportunity of what could be down the road, living next to Jay someday, or, I'm joking, but just there's no, our business doesn't have a glass ceiling. And now I feel like what little glass ceiling there might have been is totally gone now with this platform.
Yeah, I think when you start to realize that, you have the way agents sell real estate on their day-to-day business is, I mean, there are other places you can go work for, $200 a transaction, and the level of service you get, is probably equal to the value they're giving you. However, there's one thing about efficiencies in the current business that you're doing, and then there's another thing about how that business affords you to create wealth outside of just your everyday activities. And we always talk about the 3 pillars of income with EXP. You've got the most efficient way to sell real estate on your fundamental platform. You're not going to go anywhere that's going to get better. I mean, heck, I can work for EXP for less than $5,000 a year with a huge operation, and they're giving me stock, $16,000 worth of stock, the whole deal. But that's just the day-to-day consumer facing part of my business. And then on the flip side is you have the revenue share, which is the collaboration with other agents, where as you build your organization, you're getting just a little bit of referral that EXP pays you for those agents joining the company, and you helping kind of mentor them a little bit. And then you've got the stock. So when you look at it, 2 years down the road, you're going to say to yourself, Kevin, oh my gosh, I didn't come for to pinch or squeeze the extra dollar out of my broker, because you are already in that position where a lot of agents aren't. But you're going to be looking at it going, man, what the opportunity I didn't even know was out there, and you're realizing it. And that's where, you end up like Jay in Puerto Rico, because the opportunity was so good. And that's where I'm so excited for our agents. And I know you had said this too. Part of the reason why you made such a switch quickly was because you saw how it was going to help your brother and your niece and the rest of the people on your team, and have them help create wealth along with you. And that's been a fundamental thing for us. And I know, Jay, you feel the same way.
Yeah, it has to work for everybody. Everybody has to win. And when you have the right business model that has everybody winning, it's just super compelling. And the whole, I went through the whole 100% thing, right? Like, well, you can't get more than 100%.
Right.
Right. Like I didn't want to look at it, because there was nothing in my mind that would make any sense to join if I'm already at 100%. Well, what if you can make 120%? What if you were getting paid a lot of money to be at a brokerage? And that you just kind of have to open the gate of the mind and say, okay, well, what do I not know here? And take a look at it. And I think that's when people start to have the aha. And again, like, you've been super successful for a long career. I don't know how many billions in real estate you sold, but lots and lots and lots of real estate. And that's the kind of people that we're going to continue to attract is people that are like us, that are out there, go-getters, want to be successful. And if you're wanting to do more than you're currently at, and you're watching this right now, you need to reach out to these guys, because we can, not only can we help you, we're incentivized to help you at EXP. This is it's about helping people. And that's what we're here to do, is help people that want help. That's the only kind of person I like to work with, is the one that wants to be more successful. I'm not trying to drag you to success, but if you want more, we can help you with that. We've all been where you're at, and we know the steps to take, the obstacles, and how to move around them to get you to your goals. Now we have a reason to help you with that.
Makes sense. Yeah. And excuse me, at a traditional brokerage, we know where our stock options and revenue sharing are next week, next month, next year. They're the same as they were 10 years ago. They're a big zero. So that part of it's exciting for sure.
Right. No doubt.
It's an interesting, when you start really breaking this whole model down, and you look at the fundamentals of it, and when you open your mind's gate, like you said, Jay, because there's a lot of people that I've talked to, they own their own brokerage. They went from a large franchise, they went independent. I mean, hell, we were sitting in a room of 30 people, and I think 20 of them went independent over a course of 2 years. And it's like, how do you get any better than that, right? Like exactly what you said. And it's but once you get in it, you realize real quick, when you've got massive amount of money, stocking up in your stock, and you're making money while you're sleeping there, and then your revenue share. I think I've recruited roughly 25 agents to the company and 17, 18 of them are qualified. That means that they're actually actively selling real estate. Several of them were, have moved on or, got out of the business. There's normal attrition. And of that, my revenue share group is in the 120, 130 people now. Yep. It was kind of right sized. They corrected. It was after the first of the year, there was a few people that two of my buyer agents moved away because their spouses had job opportunities in other areas. But the point there is that you don't have to recruit 500 agents to this company. And when you recruit, it's not recruiting, it's attracting. Kevin, how many people have called you? You haven't been on the phone calling. I mean, how many people have called you once they found out you went to EXP?
It was, I would say 10 to 15. And that was during the holidays. So I'm really hoping during the month of January that increases. And we're reaching out to, the people we have the best relationships with, and just telling them about the opportunity. I've met with 10 to 15 different people already, and everybody's like, wow. Unfortunately, people like to do a lot more due diligence and research, as they should, but I had a pretty good source in you to lean on and get my questions answered. So
sure. Well, and that's the cool part. I mean, it just starts multiplying. One of the things, Jay, I wanted to ask you, and we want to talk about the future of the company, but real quick, because I know we're kind of heading to the end here. Tell me about when you look at the attraction piece of it and the compounding interest or the compounding effect. I mean, we were going over some numbers, and I couldn't believe there were 4 or 5 of our fellow mastermind guys and gals that had teams the size of mine. Some of them individual agents. One guy only sells $3 million a year. He was a guest at one of the masterminds with one of the mastermind guys. And it's crazy. They've got over 1,000 people in their organization, and it clicked to me that, oh my gosh, this is like, truly passive income, but it compounds. Whereas I can go buy an apartment complex, and that apartment complex can be passive income, but it doesn't go out and make other baby complexes for me, right? It's not buying other complexes.
Yeah, correct.
It's a stationary passive income stream, which is great. But now you've got, I was looking at Carlos and Veronica and all of my really good friends, and I'm looking at 700 to 1,000 agents, and they probably really recruited maybe 20, 25 of their own, and then that just kind of multiplied. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Most of them are less than 25 that they personally have sponsored that brought over. They came over a period of a year maybe, or a year and a half, or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's the thing is it compounds, it grows. The only way people can join this company is through somebody sponsoring them. That's the only way. So 100,000 more agents are going to join EXP. They got to go under somebody. The person that's going to make the most money in revenue share probably hasn't even joined yet. That's how big the opportunity is. We just had somebody in our group somewhere. We got Australia, that we've got somebody that we finally landed in Australia. So I've got Australia in our downline. We've got India. We had somebody that just signed on in India and South. I didn't even know what the currency is in India. You know what I'm saying? Like to be saying I'm going to make a little bit off all those agents is crazy. But that's what the opportunity is. That's how this company grows. This company decided to give the agents the ability to attract the kind of people they want to work with, and in doing so, earn a little bit off of each of those transactions. And that's how we grow as a company, instead of having bricks and mortar offices and franchisees and so one person whose job is to recruit agents. They pass that opportunity to us, and now we can earn a passive income that compound, which is the most fascinating. I mean, I feel like we should, like, every time we talk about it, we should plug numbers in and then put it in a spreadsheet to show people what compounding does. My growth rate, this growth rate of this group has been about 6% per month. That is doubling in 12 months. That means my 84 agents that I personally sponsored in 3 years that I've been in the company, that's like 3 a month. I'm a pretty terrible recruiter if you really break down the math here. 84 people turned into 4,600 agents in 3 years that I've been here. And it's only 2 or 3 people that really, really focused on it, and most of them didn't. But those people found other people like them, and then they have found 2 or 3 people, and that just continued to grow. Whether I'm going to do anything or not, that happened. So I'd love to say there was some pixie dust that I had that really made the difference. We did put in effort and try to help agents with agent attraction, and we do a lot to help them but it grows because that's how this company grows. And like-minded people are finding other like-minded people that just haven't looked at it close enough yet. And that's why it's going to continue to go where it goes. And so, yeah, just getting a handful of people can turn into something really, really big for somebody. And once you get past the, thinking is, your mindset, get your mindset right on it, and just put a little bit of, and you don't stop what you're doing. You add this to it, right? Like this is a new generating activity that you have access to that you didn't before. And so, hey, yeah, we'll show you how to do that. I can show you how to call Fizzbles and Expired. You can show anybody how to do that, Kevin, right? But let me show you this other thing you can do now. All right. So when somebody asks you, and now we can bring an agent over and you can make some residual. And so it's just another, they added a couple of pillars to our opportunity in real estate that we just didn't have before. And it's freaking exciting, man. It really is. And I'm excited to be partnered up with you. You guys are legends in my mind. I mean, I've known you guys forever from Star Power days and all that. And now that we're all partners together, it's, there is no limit. There is no ceiling.
Yeah, no, well, Jay, we appreciate it. I wanted to, real quick before we get going here, Jay, tell us a little bit about kind of where you're seeing. I mean, obviously our stock has gone from when you and I joined. I remember you and I meeting up in Fort Lauderdale after Al kind of exposed it to us. 2 days later, we're meeting up in a hotel down there at the one of the first conventions going, man, this is amazing. We're going to do this. But the stock was at like $6 or $7. It was still a penny stock. Wasn't traded on NASDAQ. Now we're looking at, I don't know what it is today, but it was like 74, 75 this weekend. Why is that? I mean, Kevin, you made a comment, this is like getting on the ground floor of a technology company. And I'm not saying it's going to be as big as Google, Amazon, or any of these, but it certainly is in the same realm with the way Glenn Sanford set this up for not just a real estate, kind of an old school real estate brokerage. Really, it's a technology piece. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the opportunity is huge in terms of, obviously we can't predict what the stock's going to do, but what is this company worth at currently, and what is it going to be worth in the future? We're at 40,000 agents when we're at 350,000 agents, worldwide. What is the company's valuation going to be? I think it's going to be more than it is today. That just would make sense, right? So, when I remember when we joined Andrew, when we were down there, and I remember somebody in the background was, the stock was like, we were looking at it's like $3.61, I think, if I remember right, that day that I was looking at it. And this agent, they were like, yeah, when I got in, it was 25 cents. I was like, man, I guess I missed that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what it's going to, you just don't know what it's going to do. Right. And so, I mean, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? 10X the stock since then. Right. That's the truth of it is we don't know what the valuation is going to be of this company as we add mortgage and title and we go into all these other countries as we're opening up left and right. All I know is at the end of your real estate career, that gift of stock that you have, that they give you just for producing, you're probably going to be pretty glad you have it. I think that's going to be something you're going to look back and go, man, that was really good for my career. I wish I'd have had it for the last 23 years. Right. Right. So yeah, why would you ever build your business anywhere else than here, especially if you were early in your career, right? Like it's such a good opportunity. And yeah, I think the more focus that we put on technology, the fact that we are one brokerage that's connected to the MLS seamlessly, which is essentially the best feed you can get, which means you can build a technology that has the fastest, quickest access to MLS data than Zillow has and then Realtor.com has. We can be a competitor as a brokerage. What all those companies have is they don't have agents. They got to sell agents product. Zillow has, they're trying to be an agent now. They finally took their cloak off and stopped lying and saying that they really want to help us, and now they're trying to destroy us. I mean, now the truth is coming out. But that we have the perfect mix to really be a competitor at the highest stage in the game, and battle the biggest threat, which is the people that are trying to replace the real estate agent in the transaction. And so, I mean, when you look at all the things that you could make a decision of where you want to be, you just land on EXP. It's just, there's nothing better place to be aligned to weather whatever storm, the industry has coming.
Yeah, no, you said it very well. I mean, if you're looking at the opportunity to position yourself to compete in the future, there's no question I'd rather be hooked up with a Netflix rather than a Blockbuster type model. It's crazy. And the other thing, if you're a team leader out there, or just a single person that's going to add some support to your group that's licensed agents, I mean, we've got 3 of our agents on our team right now that have over $150,000 in stock, and that's just from them. These are agents on our team that are just grinding it out. They're not going crazy, but they're just, very good agents. But, they've been able to be awarded the stock based on their production and based on, being able to buy it at a discounted rate. And gosh, I can't wait to see in 20 years, because a lot of them are very young, what kind of money they're going to be spending, millions and millions of dollars expected to be there. So at any rate, that's exciting too, to give that opportunity back to our team. And you see it every day, Jay. I know I do too. This isn't built just for teams; it's built for individuals or whomever. It's pretty cool. One last thing I want to lead with real quick is the opportunity. You had said it. I was sitting next to you when Glenn Sanford was talking about sustainability at that first one down, and we were kind of talking like, man, that makes sense. This is at the first convention we went to before we even joined. And we looked at each other like, man, that makes sense. Like, we got it, what he was saying, where we want to be in the future and how it is. And then I remember we got off the plane in Key West, and we met the gal that had opened up back in the day, EXP. You could actually have kind of like almost like a territory, I think, the first 6 months or whatever. And she had tons of stock in EXP, and she ended up, I think she was getting it like 5 cents or something crazy. And we're looking at each other going, man, did we miss out on the opportunity? Is it too late? And here we are 3 years later, it's just going crazy. And I can tell you that, in my opinion, based on everything that I see, and of course we're not, stock traders or anywhere else or valuation people. I mean, but it sure seems like the opportunity is so vast that we're just scratching the surface. And, for all those people out there thinking that this opportunity is past, man, we are just getting started. And I even see that in the Midwest. I mean, look at these cities like Dayton and Cincinnati. I mean, they're they're ready to pop, and it's crazy. So just wanted to mention that.
100%. What it takes, it takes a leader in a marketplace to come on board, and then that attracts other leaders, and then that's when you start to see. I think it's Martson's. I can't remember what it's called, but the early adopter phase is kind of where we're at right now. We're not, we have not got to the other side where everyone's joining EXP. It's still. And, it's way better now. Like, not only is the company way better, when we joined, there were some things that weren't perfect, right? Like, you don't have to deal with those. Is it a penny stock? No, we had to overcome that objection every day. We had to overcome the fact that most of the agents in every marketplace were not doing a lot of production. We had to overcome all of those things. And so now the company is really in good shape, not just financially. Obviously, we have no debt and we own our technology. Can't beat that as a bootstrap company. That's a heck of a story right there. That Glenn's been able to do this the way he has, but that we are now able to do just about anything, right? And so the level of service agents get. I sat through a mega onboarding I was blown away. I had 4 people on the team. They're working seamlessly with your team. You had to have experienced this, this already, Kevin, with working with the team to come on board. Like, it wasn't that way 2 years ago. It was a disaster.
It's been very seamless, the entire onboarding process, and the brokers in our market in Ohio, the communication has been fantastic. It's pretty much instant. You have a question, you message them and/or email, and you get an answer. And right. If they don't have the answer, you get a response. Hey, I'm working on that answer. So
right.
It's been I would say it's been a lot easier transition than we expected. We knew there was going to be some bumps and some hurdles, but the EXP part of it has been fantastic. They've been very, very supportive. There's always a little nervousness.
Right.
When you're my age, you want to walk in and talk to somebody, but that's not very productive, and it's not very time consuming, or it's very time consuming, and they might not even have the answer. So right. Everything makes more sense doing it with EXP than it did with a traditional broker. And right. We're just trying to get back to business with the holidays behind us. We feel like we're finally settled down, and we'll be rocking and rolling here.
Right on. Yeah. Love it. With that, that's the point. I remember, Andrew, 2 years ago, sometimes it would take so long to get someone onboarded into the company that we were afraid to even try to start the process with someone because we knew it was not going to be easy because we couldn't handle the growth. Right now, as we're sitting here today, the ability to bring people on at scale is not an issue. It's not a problem. Hey, Riggs, how's your first day of school?
What's up, Riggs? How are you, buddy?
He gave me the middle thumbs up kind of thing.
Spanish, my Spanish teacher kept calling me Amber and Parker. I said Rick.
He's even dressed up for school. He's even dressed up.
He had to wear his private school shirt for his Zooms today. I was like, are we going to make him wear a mask too? Because then we're out. I'm out of school. We'll just homeschool.
The one thing I wanted to add before we finish up for people concerned is the attention to detail with EXP, with their paperwork and everything has been extraordinary. It really, we've had to dot some I's and cross some T's on things that in the past we maybe, slid on through. They've been so attentive to detail. I was absolutely blown away how good the communication and the attention to detail has been.
That's good. Yeah, and you had made a point. Some people like to get in there and just talk to somebody. Hell, I'll call Luis or Sarah on the phone, and they pick up. Because that's the cool thing is somebody's designated for every task. It's just like our teams function. We could try to do it all as one individual, but that you're kind of the ball's in the air and the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Everybody has their own function. They own it. It's a great opportunity. So, hey, Jay, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. Kevin, keep crushing it.
Thank you, guys. You too.
Yeah, so excited to be partnering up with you guys. It's just the beginning. So we look forward to it, and hopefully, Jay, I'll see you hopefully this weekend, man.
That's right, man. Come on down. Come on to see
me.
Man. Invite.
Okay.
See you guys.
Take care. Take it easy. Later.
Bye.